President Trump is touting crowd size at the American State Fair.
From the Great American State Fair.
Despite the paltry crowd size, one news station insisted that there were more people attending that event than met the eye. Take a look.
And sometimes the pictures really don't tell the full story, because if you look behind us, you see, okay, there are a couple hundred people back there, but the truth is, when you make your way over here and you're in you're in a wash of people.
Oh my God. Ouch.
Trump is becoming a laughing stock again over his obsession with his tiny crowds. As Trump continues to brag about his great fair, the reality has been quite different on the ground. Underwhelming crowds that Fox News can't even ignore, but they will try, and the reaction from other morning hosts is a must-see.
Do you ever in your wildest dreams think you may be doing your Sunday show from a state fair on the National Mall? How great is this?
It's really something. And the weather, not the best today, but people are still coming out.
People are still coming. And listen, we need rain, so we'll take it. Well, the farmers need the rain, so we're going to be okay with it.
We do need rain.
Now, if you know the president, you know there are a few things that rile him up more than others pointing out underwhelming crowd sizes, right? He's just obsessed.
What you hear him talking about is his inauguration crowd being smaller than mine. After 4 years, that's what he's still worrying about. Let it go. What is his obsession with crowd size? Does he have nothing better to worry about? Did no one come to his birthday party when he was a kid?
But after his Great American Fair drew in small crowds on the National Mall, even today, Trump did what Trump always does. He has declared it a triumph. Last week, he claimed 45,000 people showed up. He said it was packed to the brim and insisted everybody stayed until the end, despite video footage disputing that.
Donald Trump just posted on Truth Social claiming that 45,000 people were at his rally last night on the National Mall. He also said that every single person that was there stayed until the end of his speech. But that couldn't be further from the truth. I was there last night on the mall while Trump was giving a speech, and I took this video of people leaving the rally in droves. Take a look for yourself.
And under my most favored nation agreement on drug prices, we are delivering the largest reduction in drug price history with price differences of 400, 500, and even 600%. Who would think that?
Trump's claim that 45,000 people were there for his speech last night is a massive overestimation. Take a look at this picture that I took while Trump was still on stage speaking. Does that look like 45,000 people? Because it sure doesn't to me. Let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think Trump's telling the truth about the crowd, or does the video evidence tell a different story?
And then Fox News came in and they did their very best to help. While standing in front of visibly open space, they tried to explain that, well, pictures don't tell you the full story.
And sometimes the pictures really don't tell the full story, because if you look behind us, you see, okay, there are a couple hundred people back there, but the truth is, when you make your way over here and you're in you're in a wash of people.
From the Great American.
Mika Brzezinski watched the clip on Morning Joe and she laughed out loud because it is laughable.
President Trump is touting crowd size at the American State Fair, claiming at least 45,000 people attended his speech, kicking off America's 250th anniversary festivities in Washington, D.C. But reports from the ground tell a different story. NBC News puts the crowd closer to 1,000 people, writing, quote, based on, there you go, estimates by our team on the ground, nowhere near 45,000 people were present. The Washington Post reports, quote, the crowd thinly covered an area about the length of the National Museum of American History, smaller than some more outdoor movie screenings. And the New Republic writes, quote, dozens of attendees Wednesday were seen flocking toward the exits in the middle of Trump's address, which was meant to kickstart the two-week event. Despite the paltry crowd size, one news station insisted that there were more people attending that event than met the eye. Take a look.
And sometimes the pictures really don't tell the full story, because if you look behind us, you see, okay, there are a couple hundred people back there, but the truth is, when you make your way over here and you're in you're in a wash of people.
Oh my God. Ouch. Okay, so if you can see what's going on right behind me, big, open, grassy area. Conservative commentator Jonah Goldberg responded to that, writing, quote, "If only they had employees who knew how to operate cameras that could capture these images," he describes. Let's bring in presidential historian and Pulitzer Prize-winning author John Meacham. Okay, aside from gaslighting about crowd size, which really we've seen before, and it ultimately is never really that big, it's very small.
These Fox talking heads are willing to humiliate themselves in the most grand fashion to remain in Trump's good graces because, to be honest, you never know, it might result in a cabinet position. But those of us not willfully cocooned off from reality can see that, no, despite Trump's claims that it's packed to the brim, the Great American State Fair has not drawn massive crowds, and everybody did not stay to the end of his speech because they loved hearing about a truly successful America. Reality on the ground is far from it, but it won't stop Fox nor the president arguing with footage that we can see with our own eyes, which, by the way, is indicative of where their focus is. It's not on inflation, foreign policy, gas prices. It's on spectacle, as it always is. One as underwhelming as this. Reports from the ground actually describe a far different story than what Trump would like you to believe. The Washington Post have said that crowds are thin, and they covered a small stretch of the National Mall, even comparing it to summer outdoor movie screenings. Other journalists have posted images of empty grass and people heading for the exits while Trump was still speaking. And the wider event had problems beyond the turnout. There were power outages, performer cancellations, weather closures, eventually a digital sign that misspelled Freedom 250 with a few extra E's in there for good measure.
Well, you guys saw on the way over here, but I'm not kidding. I think there were thousands.
Yesterday, I said on air, hey, there are thousands of people. Some poo-pooers on the X are like, oh, thousands of people. The North Carolina booth was counting 880 people an hour coming through their booth.
Yeah.
So unless they have the same 880 people lined up going around, there are thousands of people here. And I'll tell you what, that's with rain, with everything else going on, the fact that it is heightened security just because of the world right now. It's really an awesome crowd. And it's people that want to be here.
But Fox News, instead of, I don't know, reporting on the news, are out here performing a rescue mission. They're running cover for the president as they usually do. One host said with a straight face that sometimes pictures don't tell you the full story, and that there were a wash of people at the fair. The reason they're doing this is because they know that this is all the president cares about. If he's tuning into Fox, he wants them to talk about this massive crowd that nobody else is seeing. Whether 45,000 people or far fewer attended a state fair rally, it's not the most important issue in the country right now, but Trump's reaction matters because it shows where his attention often is. He is the president. He's dealing with an unstable Iran agreement, a war that continues to go off and on again, economic anxiety, court defeats, a government that he keeps trying to bend around his own image.
And then the Wall Street Journal had a report that Iran is definitely stuck on charging for ships transiting through the Strait of Hormuz, and that they're planning on making billions of dollars by doing that. And suddenly oil reversed and went higher. So that piece of inflation is still affecting consumers, considering before the war it was $67 a barrel. And we got inflation numbers today, the PCE, and they matched, but there were some pretty worrisome questions there. I mean, you started to see that year over year, up 4.1% for the headline. And that's not good. Again, that's really, really high compared to what the Fed would like it to be at, which is 2%. Year over year, core was certainly a match. I believe it was. No, actually, let's see, core, 1.6%. That's capital expenditures for durables. So, you know, the PCE, I just think at 3.4% was a match, still too high.
And he's spending time litigating how many people showed up for him and whether they stayed until the end of his speech. And if you had heard two of our former presidents speak last week, well, you'd have heard them both call to attention this man's obsession with things that someone who is doing their job correctly wouldn't have time for.
It's not just his deliberate distortion and destruction of NATO and his choosing Putin as an over American allies, or the fact that he's diminished our standing in the eyes of the world more than any president in history has. It's not just his vanity projects, tearing down the east wing of the White House, making room for his ballroom, putting his name on the Kennedy Center, building an arch in his own honor.
Obama said that Trump's behavior shows someone who is not focused on the American people or the job he's supposed to be doing.
You got to ask him what it is that
the obsession?
The obsession.
I know what it is.
I obviously, have a room in his head.
Rent free. You do everything with grace.
A suite in his head. But the thing about it is that was always clear to me. Look, first of all, when I was president, the last thing I had time to do was worry about what
somebody said,
or what my predecessor did.
Mm-hmm.
They're gone. I've got work to do.
You locked in.
It's hard to describe if you're doing the job right.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you've got 5-10 things that are real hard, and you have to be constantly focused. The idea that I'd be worrying about
came before
somebody who came before and me trying to measure, like, what's he done today? Look, constantly worrying about that is a strange thing to me. It shows me somebody who's not focused on the American people and the job they're supposed to do.
This is what people voted for. They knew this is the man they signed up to be president. Again, his first presidency began with the inauguration crowd lie, and the lies haven't stopped since. 9 years later, Trump is still doing the very same thing. The venue changes, but the lie remains. The National Mall was full, everybody stayed. The pictures don't show you the real story. There are hidden thousands of people just outside the frame. A thin crowd is not just a turnout problem, right? For Donald Trump, it's a psychological injury. He needs to believe everyone loves him. Everyone respects him. Foreign leaders, they're begging for photos, right? Stadiums, they're roaring, not in boos, but USA chants. He is a living embodiment of the Mr. Burns meme.
Smithies, are they booing me?
No, they're saying Boo Earns. Boo Earns.
Are you saying boo or Boo Earns? I was saying Boo Earns.
Want to stay plugged in? Become a subscriber to our Substack at MeidasPlus.com. You'll get daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, ad-free episodes of our podcast, and more exclusive content only available at MeidasPlus.com.